The drama within the main opposition People's Democratic Party is one that has constantly made headlines. And it took a new turn on Tuesday when the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, openly endorsed his All Progressives Congress counterpart, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State. Wike's endorsement of Sanwo-Olu for his second term ahead of the PDP governorship candidate in Lagos, Abdul-Azeez Olajide Adediran, came as a surprise to many and has been condemned by the Lagos State chapter of the PDP. This latest move by the Rivers State governor comes amid the internal crisis rocking the main opposition party, as the Rivers State governor has been vocal about his call for the resignation of the party's national chairman, Senator Iyorchia Ayu. Joining us on this show right now, this morning, as we discuss the endorsement of Sanwo-Olu by Wike, is Abdul-Azeez Olajide Adediran, PDP governorship candidate in Lagos State. Welcome to the morning show, Jandor, as you are popularly known.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Okay, very quickly. I know that your publicity secretary, PDP in Lagos State, has already issued a statement reacting to Governor Wike coming to Lagos, staying in the hotel, attending the event of council, and endorsing the incumbent governor and not even making any effort whatsoever to link up with you. Did they link up with you? We just want to know. Was there a phone call, even if you didn't meet physically? Or he just came, did APC other room event and left? What exactly happened?
Okay, Uncle, first, before we discuss this Wike unrepentant and irreversible way of life, I think I would like to first commiserate with the people of Lagos, especially young people of Lagos, for those who lost their lives during the October 2010-20. And I'm doing this not even saying I'm agreeing to whether, government panel also said there was a massacre, or even the government himself say it's just one death according to their pathologist. But whichever way it goes, but I feel even if it is one death that government says it was, I think that should have been considered one death too many, and do the needful and apologize. So first need to commiserate with people and say that we believe that in the coming year we'll be able to birth a government that would show empathy to people. I haven't said that this is not even more of Wike, and I will say Wike is Wike, and everybody knows. And where, to answer your questions, where you have no expectation, there is no disappointment, as a matter of fact. So that I'll consider inconsequential. But what worries me is the desperation of this governor and the government trying to do everything humanly possible to garner support, and what is it that is not there? I'll give you an example. They've been on rampage for over some months now. You remember before the primary election, somebody who was the chairman of our Lagos for Lagos movement was offered 100 million naira to destabilize our movement when we were in PDP. And I saw that, fired that person, and I said, this is why I fired this person, because we noticed that something has happened. And immediately the person returned to APC. I said, now the person is put somewhere. They have been identifying soft targets in our movement to make sure they see how they can destabilize us. The latest one was somebody who joined us July 2020. We've been on this since 2016. This person joined us in the name of Kunle Dabiri in America, in charge of our diaspora and all of that. It was in APC as well. This was part of the Ambodi people. In December that year that he joined us, we were having by-election in Lagos. Badamosi, remember, and Abiru inside the APC and PDP. Badamosi actually reached out to me because, of course, we're in APC, but we're aggrieved. We're, the even opposing camp within the APC. And I said, look, I don't think I want to support you. because that would amount us testing our popularity early enough. We're not ready. We're in APC, we'll fight it here and all of that. But he reached out to this Kunle Dabiri, and Kunle called me and said, look, we are not going to do that. Just, if you're not going to support this candidate of APC, let's continue with our projects. Don't do anything with this guy. But eventually, the guy and Gbadamosi met, they collected money from him to help him for election. So after his election, they were sharing Gbadamosi's money. And I called him, but I asked you not to do this. So Kunle, in that little space, told me the kind of person. If the person on the ballot gave you money and you're sharing the money after election, it shows that you will do same with me. But since then, I kept him under watch. So the moment I realized that is a mole, I started, withdrawing sensitive information from him. He got the memo. And guys called me and said, what happened? I said, this is what happened. I started withdrawing sensitive information from this guy because I know what you don't know. So now, the Kunle has returned back to APC. They are now trying to do a rally with some people saying they are returning to APC from PDP. All along, you've never been part of us. These are the people that you sent into our moves and all of that. So it is the desperation. They know that inviting Wike alone to come without even giving me any brief, Wike will be Wike and all of that. But what you will see, if you know Wike very well, is it would have said a whole lot in that space if he had had a whole lot to do with me or to do with how I emerged as a candidate of the party. So I wonder how somebody with all his might within the PDP and didn't support me during the primary because he was supporting somebody with structure because he needed that structure. I didn't have anything when I came and couldn't stop me. We now decide if I govern the state of Lagos or not. I mean, that's for the generality of Lagosians. And that is why for us, we are focused on our election. Yesterday, I started my campaign from Alimosho. I visited 4 wards in Alimosho yesterday because we are doing ward tour. We are taking it to the people. For the first time, can the people of Lagos feel and see that governor of theirs, not the one that somebody will pronounce and nobody will know where he's coming from or who is he, and we'll be looking at, have you seen his picture before, who is the person? No. Now we're taking, I was in Alimosho yesterday with Funke, and we divided ourselves. I went, talking to bodies like Khan, traditional rulers and artisans and all that. Funke went into the market to speak to our mothers, to assure them that this government that is coming will not be the one that will be shutting your market at will, because we know you make your daily living here. So this will be a very friendly government, and was relating with them. So that is us busy telling Lagosians, this is what we are going to do differently. All this Wike is endorsing anybody. Like I said, and that statement said, see, read my lips, I will defeat Sanwo-Olu and everybody that is supporting me, home and abroad. Okay. All his Godfather put together in this election.
2 things. Let's dive more into this matter. I'll ask you 2 questions. Number 1, there's been a contention that you were giving Rhodes Vival as your deputy governorship candidate. You didn't take him, hence the fight between you and Chief Body George. And what is really going on between you and Chief Body George? Because now the PDP has also segmented. The faction is supporting Labour with Rhodes Vival. That's another one. I want you to tell us what really happened around there.
Okay.
Secondly, you also went to see Wike. He even offered to bring you back in his private jet, but what did you go discuss with Wike, and what came out of that? 2 questions.
Okay, let me take the first one. Chief Body George is our leader in Lagos. And I can say that we really do not have any issues between us. But just like I put it earlier on, what Chief Body George tried to do in that interview, if you looked at it, was to tell the people of Lagos that this Jando is going to be an independent governor. There was no agreement anywhere. And if we go by what Chief Body George actually, his submission during that interview, he spoke about an agreement with some leaders and that somebody is going to be my deputy. Okay, so let's see. I think it defied logic to say you had an agreement with somebody and there was no public pronouncement to say I'm withdrawing from this race, for whatever reason. 2 people withdrew for me. Wale Gomez, he addressed a press conference to do that. Dr. Adediran, PS, he did a press conference to say I'm withdrawing. Now, on the day of the primary, 6 of us were at the venue of the meeting with the Electoral Committee from Abuja, including Rose Bible. If there had been an agreement, what was it doing at that meeting? At that meeting, when we had our initial discussion before going into the primary, 3 people also withdrew that day: Engineer Adediran, Dr. Dosumu, and Jim Kamal. And I think at that time, somebody ought to have said, look, me, maybe I was just passing by. I was not supposed to be here because I have long, withdrawn my own based on agreements or anything. That didn't happen. So 3 of us, including Rose Bible, left for the venue of the primary. So if truly we have sat down to agree something, I don't think, okay, if you miss addressing a press conference to say, I have done this, I don't think you should miss that first meeting to say, look, me, I'm not part of this. You also follow us to the venue. To do what? With agents. You want to be part of the process. I won't rule out the fact that Baba wanted him because he's his friend's son. He said it to be.
Who is Baba?
Chief Body Judge, our leader.
Okay.
I know of that, but I ensure that I did not have any commitments with him. I make sure I dodged that. And when I realized he was going to do that, I ran to Chief Obasanjo. I said, I'm smelling this. I will say I don't know. Help me call him because I'm not going to pick that guy. What I want you to do, tell him to withdraw his interest. Let me come and hand my own interest to him and let him present to the public. And that was exactly what happened. Now, I am speaking about some faction of Labour and PDP in Lagos are supporting Labour. That's not true. It's only Gbadebo and his running mate.
Chief Body Judge supporting you? No, he's supporting
Chief Body Judge. Well, Chief Body Judge is supporting. He hasn't gone out to say he's supporting Rose Bible. I know he's supporting me. And Chief Body Judge will not do anything aside supporting the PDP. He would amount to death penalty for anybody to do that.
When he was last on air, he talked highly of Rose Bible. That's just it.
I
talked highly of Rose Bible. And the likes of Badamasi too are already aligned. They've joined the Labour Party. They are with Rose Bible. So these are stalwarts in the PDP. No. And they are leaving it. They are joining Rose Bible.
Rufai. I want to excuse Chief Body Judge because I have not seen this endorsement of ease of Rose Bible. So let me excuse him. But the names you've been mentioning in PDP. Okay, Rose Bible left for Labour Party. Was it the same thing as Jandor left from APC to PDP? No. If you understand this game,
has gone to Labour.
Was it the same thing as Jandor leaving APC for PDP?
No. Are you saying
These are the people that left. These are the people that left for another party without taking their wife with them. You see the mammoth car that came with me from APC.
Next issue.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
quickly. Because we have limited time.
Yeah, so the next issue, I mean, just to answer your question, I think...
the Wike issue, yeah.
I think this Wike issue, I don't think I should continue to behave like him. At least, it's unfortunate that my leader is giving me the big brother role. So I will take it.
Okay, Jandor. We need to go to the Lekki toll gate, but before we do so, I hope that Badamasi, whom you mentioned, and Kunle Dabiri will have the opportunity to also come on this program to defend themselves, because they could legitimately say that, the things you said about them are not correct. So we are not taking that as...
listen, why I give you this?
Yeah,
is because
not a problem.
Like I said, I call it desperation.
Yes, but they have a right to defend themselves.
Absolutely,
yes.
And I mean, they called me in when this thing boomeranged. I said, I warned you. So problem. That's these people that they now want to showcase to say they left Jandor's group. Come on.
Fine. Let me come back to you in this studio. A number of questions to ask. What is the level of support that you are getting from the PDP at the national level? Because you can't do it on your own, alone in Lagos. We have had Wike coming here to give celebrity endorsement. Okay, where are the people at the national level? When are they coming? Number 2, is it true that Mr. Jimmy Agbaje, the habitual PDP candidate in Lagos State, has gone to the APC? I saw a story like that, but you will be in a position to tell us. And then what's your reaction to this flooding problem in Nigeria today? That's a general question. Mr. Peter Obi has taken the lead in saying, look, let us suspend campaigns and show empathy and show support and show solidarity with the suffering people of Nigeria who have been displaced by floods. Do you think it's just playing politics with a disaster, or is making sense?
Okay, so first let me answer from the first question of the support I'm getting from the party. Of course, the party is supporting everybody. And you also went back to this Wike issue where I've been avoiding. But let me say this. You see, some people are so poor that the only thing they have is money. And yes,
I don't get that.
Some people are
Some
so
people are so poor, the only thing they have is
money. Absolutely.
Can somebody have money and be poor?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely. and the kind of riches, wealth that Jandor has and the movement is in the people, notable people. And that money can't buy. Okay? So, and I would crave your indulgence to allow me to bury this Wike issue that way. Please don't let it resurrect again. We've considered it inconsequential. I started my campaign yesterday. The people of Alimosho that I went to see yesterday in all those words, they didn't even know somebody came to Lagos to endorse somebody who has never, invited,
came to Lagos.
Who has never invited to endorse people who has never, to endorse somebody who has never invited any governor to commission a project here in Lagos in his almost 4 years out of office. I said it yesterday. Just in these 2-3 years, we have seen Aja flyover, Abulegba, Pensinema Agegi, even the airport international road with another ramp in just for this one. Nothing to worry about.
Sanwo-Olu is going to commission
Dangote in 4 years.
Dangote factory.
Dangote
is already test running.
So Dangote is our governor now. Dangote is our governor now in Lagos. Test running rail line of 16 years. That was supposed to be from Marina to Koko. Now they've shortened just now from Marina to Maitu. And they are still test running after how many years?
Many of the projects. Some of those bridges.
They don't have names. Where are the bridges? You don't live in Lagos. Where?
He sorted out.
Which one,
Sanwo-Olu sorted out.
Which one?
What do they call it? Pen Cinema, Abulegba, all those projects.
No.
He did all of that.
Pen Cinema bridge was 85% completion before Ambode.
But he completed it. Government is continuous.
Thank you.
No, let's just be fair.
We're not speaking. No. I'm not saying if that is what you think, or the budget that he has done from 2020 up to this moment that is going to about 4 trillion with almost 80% performance, including all the money they borrow to shore up that fiscal policy. That is what we can see. Then it's comfortable. Let me just leave that. But what we're speaking to is the fact that, look, we're coming to do things differently in the state of Lagos. And we have support of our party at the national level to do that. And we will defeat this person. Let's forget it. By next year, we'll best a government that is wealthy in truth, as against the one that we have now that's only wealthy on paper. Because all we hear is Lagos State has money. We can't sit on the streets of Lagos. So that's all. Now, secondly, you spoke about this flooding issue. Climate is changing. I'll come to my Lagos. And we can't continue to shy away from the fact that, look, this thing is changing due to depletion of ozone layer. It's happening everywhere. But what we are saying is, even weather forecast is so erratic this day that you can't even know how bad it's going to be. But in Lagos, you know that we have just 18% of our land areas that are prone to flooding. In 23 years of this government, I thought by now a very serious government would have, built some IDP somewhere. And every time we're getting to this stage, what you then need to do is to take your people off that, disaster area in preparation for it, because it's going to happen. Like now, all this is happening everywhere now. We're behaving as if we don't know anything. Very soon, the Oyo Dam will also be released, and it will submerge all, these Agric Ikorodu areas, what's this beggar area and all of these things. And it happens like every other time they release it. What have you done as a government? By now, we should be evacuating our people off there.
Jando, sorry to interrupt you. Looks like we have additional report from Tokunbo Yetunji. These are the protesters going through, passing by on the second anniversary of the NSAS protests at the Lekki toll gate in Lagos, popularly known by others as Ground Zero of that event. Okay, that's the situation we have there at the Lekki toll gate. So,
this Lekki toll gate issue, Dr. Abati, I don't know. Is it so difficult for somebody to take responsibility as the governor of the state, apologize to people, even if it is just one death? Take it as one death too many, and come to see.
Let's leave that. The Lagos State government set up a whole commission.
Exactly, I'm just saying.
The paid compensation.
Exactly.
We had even commended the Lagos State government for being the only state that took, or the main state that took a frontline position.
We need to find a way of putting this to rest.
Okay.
We need to find a way of putting this to rest, and that's the truth. There is no closure. I'm not saying this because of anything. There is no closure. We need to find a closure, so that you just put this to rest once and for all. We can't continue having this every year. Okay, but we'll find a way around it, because this government will go. When we'll come there, we'll know we do the needful.
Okay.
No, but you were talking about flooding.
Yes.
You haven't finished.
So I was saying that what we then need to do is to prepare for this emergency, because we already know, because of our state of state, is going to happen. Then all of us are shouting now there is flooding everywhere. In 2012, we had this issue in 2012. Between that time and now, what have we done? Nothing as a government. And that's why you see the people in government today consider it a rocket science, and they were saying some people can't govern and all of that, because they've conditioned our mind to think it's a rocket science. It's not. See to the welfare of the people. Ensure that the wealth of the state work for the people. Put it where it's supposed to be. We wouldn't have this issue. So, Dr. Abati, it's a leadership problem. That's nothing short of. It's a leadership problem. Okay. If you don't take leadership, that is what you get. And it's not only in that sector. I've spoken about the NURTW issues the other time, because this body is a lawful body.
Okay. So, you keep saying you beat Sanwo-Olu, but what's your path to governorship empirically? What are your strong goals as we speak today? What are the areas? What is your what are the mappings based on your analysis of what you have on ground? Which area would you divide votes? And secondly, you said you will ban Iyaloja and Babaloja. Tell us more about that.
No. I didn't say I will ban Iyaloja and Babaloja.
What did you say?
No. We say as a government we will provide leadership that won't give anybody power to be closing market at will, just like we have it now, in the name of Babaloja or Iyaloja. Market will continue to have their own
democracy to the market.
Absolutely, they will continue to have their own leadership, but not to the point that you shut down people's means of livelihood because something has happened. No, that won't happen in our own government. We won't encourage that, And this stronghold of a thing.
Yeah, at your path to beating someone. You also empirical path.
Yes, I will.
You can't just say I'll beat somebody.
Let me give it to you. Yeah. I was coming from that camp, and the first thing we had to do was to implode that place. And what we took off there, we then took it to PDP, that's been doing 35 to 40% every election cycle. So there are deficits. Now we've taken it there. Number two.
But people are still saying
hold on, sir.
That they use you just to go get the PDP in their own favor. That's what some people are saying.
In whose favor?
In their own favor.
Who are the
so that they can control the opposition. That's what some
let them control it now when I get to the office. Let them come and control it.
Okay.
So let them come and control it when I win the election. Let's see if they will control it. When we started in APC, they did everything to shut down Lagos for Lagos. In fact, they made a pronouncement banning all groups within the party, thinking we are going to collapse our own. And I did say to them that Lagos for Lagos is a registered organization. Nobody can make a pronouncement to stop it. It's only a court of competent jurisdiction. But I'm from Lagos West, 10 local government, and I'm from division that has never produced governor before in the history of this state. Okay, and in this Lagos West, we have over 60% of the entire Lagos votes in that place. And we have never been governor, none of us. The only person that has used that district to be governor is the same Tinubu. I use the word used because it's not from there. Okay, and it is something, let me tell you something. Very recently, Governor Sanwo-Olu called a meeting of all aspirants within his own party. And he was telling them, okay, you guys will have to come back. I will reform your money for forms and all of that. This Jandor guy, what are you guys doing? You should hit him in his head. You should do that and all of those things. Over 80% of the people in that meeting came back to give us the details of the meeting. That is something.
Jandor, we have to.
So they know already that this is their last card. They know, and that's why they are reacting on all fronts.
Optimism is the opium of politicians. But in Lagos, there's what they call Baba Sokwe politics.
And that is what
Who are the Baba Sokwe behind you? No, even in that Lagos West.
No Baba Sokwe behind me in Lagos is the people of Lagos.
Oh, no Baba Sokwe?
The only Baba we have in PDP told you in the recent interview that guy is an independent governor. If there's anything,
thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. Olajide Adediran, candidate of the People's Democratic Party for the gubernatorial race in Lagos State.